guys, I sure am missing all of you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good Easter. So I really enjoyed your epistle projects that you did. And now we're going to take a different approach as we go into 1st and 2nd Corinthians. Now these two books are also epistles written by Paul. They actually come in the Bible before the epistle projects that you did. So what we want to do is I'm going to give you a brief introduction to these two books. And then this week we'll cover 1 Corinthians, and next week we'll cover 2 Corinthians. And the way we'll do that is I will send you an email, and I'll do it by the week. So you'll have an email coming from me today, and it's going to include the assignments for the whole week. And then on next Monday, I'll send you an email and it'll have the assignments for that week. But for each day, you'll have a few chapters, and I'll give you some questions to answer, anywhere from 5 to 10 questions a day based on those chapters. And you'll answer those, and then at the end of the week, just send those back to me. So that's how we're going to cover 1st and 2nd Corinthians. I'm very excited because I've gone over my scope and sequence and looked at the remainder of the year, and we will get through the entire Bible. We'll be able to finish the book of Revelation, and I'm very excited about that. So when you finish this school year in 6 weeks, you'll be able to say, I went through the whole Bible this school year. So I'm proud of you guys. I'm not sure, but I think Mr. Riddell is still in the Old Testament. So you guys are doing a good job. So let's just look briefly at 1st and 2nd Corinthians. Both of these are letters written by Paul to the church at Corinth. And I wanted to give you a little background on this. Paul actually established the church in Corinth on his second missionary journey. That was written to them. These two letters were written toward the end of his third missionary journey. He had been away from them for a while, and since he established the church had grown, but there was a lot of idolatry, which is idol worship, going on with some of the Christians in Corinth. There was also a lot of immorality. There were people having sex outside of marriage, and he needed to address that. So 1 Corinthians was a letter that he wrote in 55, in AD 55. So like this is 2020 in 55. He wrote that letter to the first Corinthians, the first letter to the Corinthians. And then 2 Corinthians was written about 2 years later, so somewhere around AD 57. The difference in the two books, and you'll notice this, in the first book, it's more practical. And in the second letter that he sent, it's more personal. It's more like his testimony. A lot of it seems like he's trying to defend himself. So as we study that, we'll see that in the first epistle, 1 Corinthians, he's giving very practical advice, and most of the church followed his advice and they got their lives straightened out with the Lord, but there were still some who didn't do that, and there were some who were questioning his authority. And that's why in the second epistle, which is 2 Corinthians, he seems to be a little more defensive and he shares more about his own personal life. So you'll see that. So this week, we're going to focus on 1 Corinthians, next week, 2 Corinthians. So if you'll look for the email, and I'll tell you which chapters to read each day, and then I'll have questions for you to answer. And if you'll just send me those answers each week, by Friday of each week, that'll be great. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email, and I hope you have a great day.